Yeah, this is it's a tournament that lays really close to my heart. I'm from Stockholm, born and raised in Stockholm. I really remember when I was a little kid here, walking around with my brother, and we dreamt about to be able to play this tournament one time. And a big reason why I got into the sport, of course, was to come here to Kungliga and watch all the stars, all the ATP professional players. So it has a very important place in Swedish tennis. I believe that this is the flagship of Swedish tennis. It's always been. All the big names, all the big players has always come and support this event. So I'm very happy and proud to still be part of it somehow. Now as a tournament director, where I work with the playing field. And we have a very, very good crowd, a very knowledgeable crowd who have been supporting us for many, many years. I almost sometimes recognize some of the crowd that was even here when I played, so they're very loyal to us. So it's a very special atmosphere. It's also the only actually ATP tournament that is played in a club. So in this beautiful Royal Club, and it's also the oldest ATP indoor tournaments on the calendar. So we are very proud of that.
I have so many good memories from this tournament. I had my breakthrough here at 87. I was not ranked among the 100 best in the world. I think I was 110 or something like that. Got a wild card, and at that time it was one of the biggest tournaments on the tour, Super 9. And I reached the semi-final, which was very, very unexpected. So that was my first really good memory. I also reached the final in 1989, also very surprisingly. I was ranked, I think, 93 in the world or something like that, and I beat a couple of top 10 players to reach the semifinal in Wilander and Agassi.
Det här var ju när jag mötte Lendl 89. Totalt omöjlig. Fick 8 game den finalen. Men kul upplevelse.
And then at the age of 32, I think it was, I played Thomas Enqvist in the final, 99, and well, it was also a big surprise because I never expected to reach a final again in Stockholm. But I played some really good matches before I came to the final against Thomas.
Sen så var väl det här också året du och jag möttes, va?
Ja, precis. Yeah, Magnus Gustafsson is a great friend of mine, and he was a very good role model for me when I actually started to get onto the tour. Magnus was already very high ranked, and he was always very nice to me when I came on the tour. We practiced a lot, and he obviously was much better than me when I started, so he beat me a lot when we started to play. But in the end, I got him a few times, and he was such a good competitor, unbelievable forehand. But you also really what you think about when you think about Magnus is his fighting spirit. He always played with his heart on the outside his shirt, and he was a good role model for everybody, and a very nice guy.
Thomas was really good at that time. He was so strong. He had very good ground strokes, both backhand and forehand, and he could easily find my weakness, which was my backhand, and overpower me from the baseline. And even if I was in a very good shape, it was very tough to compete against him at that day, because he was hitting so hard, full of confidence. The day before, I think he beat Magnus Norman, who was also in a very good shape. So yeah, he was just too good for me at that day.
I mean, it's very important. Surface, balls, always a big subject when you come to a tournament. I think that we are starting to see, I think that we try to go a little bit the opposite direction that we tried to do for a while. We wanted to slow down the game a little bit because we felt like the serve was very dominant. But these days the players are returning better, they're returning differently, where they're standing much further back than what kind of my generation did, so they are better to get the ball into play, and also the players are moving much better these days. So I think that surfaces these days, or tournaments these days, try to go the opposite side. We try to make it a little bit more quicker, so the balls doesn't fluff up as much. because the players anyway move so well. So I think that we see better tennis, better rallies actually these days when the surface is a little bit quicker.
I think the surface is very fair for everybody. It's not too fast, it's not too slow. You can play serve and volley, you can stay back and so on. I think this is the way a surface should be. I think you have a kind of ATP and ITF have a grade where they have it between 20 and 50. 50 is very, very fast, 20 is very slow, then we're talking slow clay and so on. I think this is something between like 33, 34 or something like this, and this, I think, that's the way it should be. I've been playing on very, very fast surfaces, and then it's too much advantage for the huge serve players and so on, and I've been playing on very slow surfaces, and it's too much advantage for the guys who are staying at the back. But here you can play quite offensive, but you can stay back if you want also. So I think it's good for the tennis.
Yeah, I think it's good for the game. I mean, I don't think that at the moment we still don't have the serving volleyers, or of course players are still serving well. We see some aces, but the players today are moving so well, they're returning so well, so you still see a lot of rallies. I think that it's easier to be creative these days if the surface is a little bit faster. Only positive things I heard. I think that this year on purpose we did it a little bit quicker, so we don't have as much friction in it as we had in the past, and that also make the ball doesn't fluff up as much. I think this year the players like the ball better, and we haven't changed the ball at all. It's still the same ball, but I think that because of the surface now today, the ball doesn't fluff up, so it doesn't feel as slow, and the ball doesn't feel that heavy. So I think that it's been a good combination.
I think a couple of things that makes this special is of course the surrounding here. We are playing in a tennis hall, an old tennis hall, with wooden benches and wooden floor and everything like this. Normally when we were playing on the tour, they were building up a center court in an arena or something like this. Here you play in a tennis club, and that I think is fantastic. And also you feel that the spectators are sitting very close to the court and so on, and most of the spectators here, they're so much into tennis also. So especially when the big players are playing and the Swedes are playing, the atmosphere is electric. And I felt that every time I was playing here in Sweden, it was just something, I mean, in front of your home crowd, that was, something very, very special for me.
Så, men du var i jäkligt bra form då?
Ja, jag var tuff, men jag var i bra form. Jag hade vunnit en sån här mastertävling. Yeah. 99 is a very good memory for me, obviously. I was in great shape. I did some good results. I just won the Masters 1000 event just a couple of weeks before, so I came in the tournament with a lot of confidence. And I played Magnus in the final, and I had one of those days where my serve was really, really working well. So I could play aggressive. Magnus was very dangerous when he got, working you around with his forehand, and so I tried to be like super aggressive, which is easy to say but difficult to do. But that day my serve was working really well, and I could really take a lot of chances, and I came out on top that day. Good memory for me.
Ja, det var lite, kändes som att det var lite min dag. Det är en sån här dag som var min dag. Vi kunde spela dagen efter och det blev ett helt annat resultat.
Nej, det kändes det faktiskt inte.